Ah, I didn't get a little thing. Hopefully, you weren't waiting long.
Hopefully. I was waiting long enough to leave some hot troll comments. Oh, wait, you're on my phone. There we go. Okay. I'm here to chat with you. Like chat
Wonderful.
roulette. You're not a guy pleasuring himself. I feel
No,
relieved.
yeah,
Feel relieved.
just a guy doing nothing.
Is this
How have you
also
been?
simulcast on RU, or are you branching out into just chattings of
No,
Sartorial?
my inconsistency of being online due to having lots of real life got
Speaking
me
of you
got me
being
kicked off.
online, sir, the
Yeah,
volume on your preaching was terrible. Terrible. We went and
I
trolled
know,
the
I
live
know.
stream, and they didn't even notice anybody was there
Yeah.
complaining how terrible it was.
Well,
We couldn't hear you.
I guess it cut out at one point, and then they like redid it. But I put it up like 4 times the volume on my channel, so it seemed
It's
like it
there
was
now. You
okay.
can see
Yeah,
it. It was exciting to be able to be in the live stream while you were at the church. You know, you're not that far from me. I could show up in your church any Sunday.
that would be wonderful.
Be prepared to be awkwardly surprised.
Yeah, it would be fun. I mean,
You got a tectonic school going at that church yet? Can they teach me how to be a carpenter?
um, I mean, you could ride along with me anytime you want, but
And you
not
got one
officially
guy.
yet.
You got one guy at the church that'll do it.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though. It's like I was thinking about there's out of the 870 churches around here,
Mm.
like coming up with some kind of letter or form or whatever to be like, hey, send me a representative to this thing I'm doing, and then just estuary protocol them all once they get there, and then send them home with the paintball for Jesus flyer. Because like I don't want to actually host an estuary, but I wouldn't mind showing it to all the people that are at churches around town. So
Yeah. Well, it's kind of because Gavin was asking me about like the progress on my project and stuff, and it's kind of like a tricky thing because I don't want to like promote too much without because if people all say like we're interested in this thing, I don't have anything to give them. So I have to get like to a position where I can say like sure, I can have one person come or two people come or something.
oh, see, man, I thought what you were putting together would be like a packet, like an information packet for me
Yeah.
to give to these churches and be like, look, it's important we teach the kids a trade. Anybody in your silly church know how to do something? Let's hook them
Well,
up with the kids that
yeah.
don't.
No, that is the goal. That is the goal. But I mean, but it's like there's a difference between saying like here's a program that works that you can also do versus here's a hypothetical program that you could start that I'm not able to start right now. You know what I mean? So because the plan is like a franchise kind of
You
a
want
thing.
a Frodo? You want a Frodo type? You want
Yeah,
a Frodo type?
exactly.
Speaking of which, why don't you highlight the comments and acknowledge the people that are in your stream? Why, that's
Cowboy hat.
Franco with the cowboy howdy, Upcycle with the hand wave, and Neutrino as well. Look at that. The fellas are here.
It's all hieroglyphics in this comment stream.
We've advanced. We've advanced. Is your LARP Christian thing still coming out strong?
I just keep like putting it up on Twitter when I see appropriate moments, but I don't know if it really does much because I don't know. Do you still have the blue check or whatever? Because
I've paid for it again and then gone incognito as a poor.
oh,
If you
okay.
pay for the blue check mark, you can hide the fact that you paid for it and go incognito as a poor person on there. It's kind of
Well,
neat.
yeah, I'm a real poor person, so I'm pretty sure like when I post things, it just doesn't go anywhere.
Well, I figured out the reason that I wasn't getting the subscription button for people to pay me to be there was because I needed to do 5 million impressions in 3 months to be eligible for one.
Yeah.
So I just keep swinging, trying to hit the banger, and then get my button turned on. Now that it's interesting, they're doing their AI competition, and then the open AI is like just hit back with a new feature set in theirs.
Yeah. Well, I haven't paid attention to the competition, but I saw they had their own thing now. So
Well, they just launched it with this horrible like crediting hitchhikers for a stranger in a strange land name. It was really offensive. I think they were trolling. I think they said sixth level information war here. We can't say stranger in a strange land. We have to troll them because the internet loves someone who's wrong.
Hmm. Um. Yeah. I talked to one of my friends is interested in helping me with my project, and
And
he
my project means the
the
tectonic
tectonic
skew.
school, yes. But and so we're on the same page of like if AI is a thing, we should use it because the devil will definitely use it. So we should also use it.
I just recently heard that argument in a clip from Demir with regard to a guy in the past named something Bacon. It was like, hey, Sandy. It was a Bob, not Bob's Bacon, but somebody that wasn't Francis Bacon. And he is notorious for loving science, but according to this clip from Demir, he just really hated the Antichrist and wanted to use science to fight him. So that's like just it's interesting. That's the echo of what I saw earlier today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like every time we get a new technology, the thing is that I think we want to blame the technology for like corrupting all our values, but really it's just, oh, here's a new way where our corrupt values can flourish. That we've had the corrupt values all along. We just, because that's like what they talk about, like the Victorian era, and everybody was like suppressed
Well,
because
man, if people start to complain about what the technology has done, I just know, I have this sense that like the amount of people who say "lead me not into temptation" every day is a startlingly small percentage, and so the blaming game is always a game, and I don't know. I have whenever I try to promo your Tectonic School project, I try to find the really good video, and I always come up with one that's not it. Can you find it and play it for people?
Which one was the really good one?
With the one that has the clips of the lady who made the death shoots for the cattle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that. It's like the big promo one. It's fabulous. It's fabulous.
Let's see. See if we can figure this out.
First, you got to find it and open it in the tab, and then present the tab with the share audio check mark clicked.
Yeah.
I got this piece of granola bar I really want to eat. I need to hide behind something for that. Hey, I'm over on Saint Sartori's channel. Breaking his brain. Is that an Apple product? Are you on an Apple product?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Am I?
Yeah, is that a Mac you're clicking around in?
No. It's like some weird Sony knockoff of an iMac that somebody gave me for free.
Well, hey.
So, what?
Can it play a video?
Yeah, it can. I'm having a hard time finding it, though.
Me too, man. That's what I'm saying.
Like erased videos? Like if there was more videos here and I don't see them all.
Did they scrub it from the interwebs without telling you?
Oh wait, here it is. I found it.
So whenever he says my project or Tectonic School, he's talking about this.
Yeah. All right.
We all know that there is no agency, any living gentleman.
Okay, is it
You got it? All right, hide me. I don't want to be on for this part.
Okay. Do you want me to?
No, you can do. There's one that's like the thing full screen. Nah, not there.
Oh, okay.
Men are struggling profoundly with depression. Men are struggling profoundly with feeling meaningless, like their life is meaningless. They feel like things are purposeless. They don't have drive. They don't have direction. They feel like they're not competent compared to their female counterparts who seem to be getting ahead and doing well. Men account for almost 3 of 4 deaths of despair from either an overdose or suicide. This is men. And the 2 words that showed up more than anything else is useless and worthless. Men psychologically need to feel like they are useful. We need to feel like we are doing something for the world. Right? We need to feel like somebody needs us. A lot of grown men especially, don't have close friends. They can't get jobs, and they struggle with education. What are they going to do but get angry?
Kids are growing up today totally removed from the practical. Talked to a doctor, and he told me he had trouble training interns to sew up cuts because the interns had never used scissors as a young child. Kids today are totally separated in the world of physical things. They're not getting out and observing stuff out in nature. And this brings up a major issue about skill loss.
Almost 1 in 4 boys, 23%, has a developmental disability. A lot of things that are described as disabilities are very much just naturally how a lot of boys are.
The kids are playing video games in the basement on an autism diagnosis instead of fixing elevators.
Men do tend to be more distracted. Men tend to need to be up and around and active more than women do.
The kids are getting screened out of these trades because they've taken the shop classes out of the schools 20 years ago.
So they're put at a disadvantage automatically.
I had a student in my class that had never used a tape measure to measure anything. And they're totally removed from the world of the practical. There's a relationship here between what goes on with industrial things and what's going on at school.
We got to get out of this idea of everybody needs to have a college education.
Everybody thinks they got to go to college. They come out of college and they can't find a job.
Decline in college enrollment was 7 times greater for male than female students. 7 times. That is a really significant figure. Men are less and less inclined to pursue higher education.
The last month, I've had a mechanic come on a plane twice, and both mechanics had gray hair. We need people that can do these things before the power grid and the water systems fall apart. We are paying the price now for taking out those shop classes. Good shop classes cost a lot of money. Now, people are starting to put shop classes back in, and you know what they're finding? They can't find anybody to teach the shop classes. I just heard about a brand new, beautiful welding shop built here in Colorado at a community college, and they can't find somebody to teach it even after they dropped the university requirement.
Kids today, there's jobs out there. There's a lot of jobs, but you just can't find somebody to come into the trade.
Men that have been raised poor have a far more difficult time escaping poverty than women who are raised poor. And a lot of that, I think, is having a male role model. Men need to have a strong male role model because we very much follow role models.
There ain't a whole lot of them folks around anymore. Old timers. We need to start listening to them. You'll learn a thing or two.
I'm interested in one thing at the age of 75 of helping the students who think differently get into really good careers where they can have satisfying lives.
You have to be a good person to be around to do well at a working class job.
When you build things and you can touch them, that's a whole different feeling of life, basically. The educations in the trades is just as difficult when you come right down to it. I'm not trying to put down people who want to be lawyers and so forth, but these are mostly kids who want to be engineers. If you're an engineer, you can be a great plumber and run a business that you'll do really well financially.
So to be a really good plumber, then you have to be highly skilled, but you have to be a clear and honest communicator, and you have to play fair in the most fundamental sense and check out how he interacts with his subordinates, and if he's someone who's teaching them, because you can watch that, and doing that in a fair manner and not talking down to them and not manipulating them and not tyrannizing over them. It can't be just reduced to being a good plumber in the technical sense. It's being a good person who happens to be a plumber.
When men feel like they have something to offer, they want to be involved more. How do we do this in the church then? Give men things to do. Make men feel like they are useful and needed in the church. Encourage them.
Because the jobs themselves are quite difficult. They're physically strenuous, they're demanding. And the payoff for that in part can be the camaraderie that emerges as a consequence of the shared enterprise. And that can make those jobs extremely worthwhile. You can make very, very good friends in a working class environment.
It's amazing how one compliment toward a man that he's doing something well will have a profound effect upon him. A man in the church to just say, hey, I saw you had this skill. It'd be great if you would help us with this.
The integrity of our society depends in no small part on the minority of people, and often working class people, who do that sort of thing exceptionally well, right? They're the people who they build everything and they keep everything going.
Just go sit down and have coffee with them. Just start hanging out with them and what they do, and just listen to them and let them talk about their years. And it's amazing the reality of life, the simple truth that you'll pick up along the way.
If you have an opportunity to encourage a younger man, kind of take somebody under your wing in some way, like do it, really do it, encourage them, lead them toward the good, lead them toward community, the church, to Christ, the forgiveness of sins, to meaning, purpose in Christ.
Yeah, I'm busy. But I think this is great, sir. And frankly, if you're not really gonna do anything with it, let's spitball some alternatives, shall we?
Who, what now? Talking about me?
But like, what if to launch this off the ground, right?
Yep.
What about this? We first set up a fundraiser so we can do it. I mean, the people will send me the chads. We can probably fund a small project. And so the small project is simply just to like put that video on a USB and like mail it to churches. Just, hey guys, here's an awareness thing from the Tectonic School. And then what I think like you'll have to, I recommend Josh Dixon. But I think it'd probably have to be like some kind of NGO. And just be like, hey, we're this organization that gives a certain percentage of our charitable donations to each church, which demonstrates that they have a Tectonic school in place, or has at least taught one person one trade. Like elder of the congregation teaches a kid a trade, you get 1/5 of 1% of our charity funnel. You know, just like. Dangle the money, because churches are poor and they're gonna love that. But have it be just show us that your people are training the next generation of men, because we've identified this problem, and now we'd like to identify how, like we'd like to whatever those answering the problem, highlight that's. I don't know how in terms of actual real world projects it goes, but like, say take for example Pet Cow. We know he's like he runs a horde of a crew. He runs a crew, so he'd qualify for one of these. I don't know those. There's some thoughts, Mike.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the goal. I'm just wanting to be able to have that package a little bit more. Well, I mean honestly, people can sign up and look at all the ideas and put out there. They could just steal the idea if they want to. Like it's not like a proprietary thing. The only
Oh yeah,
thing,
we got plenty of ideas everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
But I don't know. Is the USB to a church a stupid project, or do you think that would like? Do you think
Well,
they
I
don't
think
know? Would this be a news
I mean,
flash
this
to any
does seem
church
like
that
the
received
easier
that
thing
paper?
to just send them a piece of paper with a QR code because there's a certain age of like, boomers that love those things. Like they can't resist pulling out their phone when they see a QR code. So I don't know. Um,
Yes, the
yeah,
old fax machines too. I love that.
yeah.
Like those things still rattling one of those off is kind of a weird thing.
Well, okay. So I mean, here's the thing. I will do like my goal. My goal is to not work for the company I work for, but work for myself instead. And that way I can focus on doing the thing in real life, and then also uh, focus on like the internet stuff, because I would like to have like, and I would like to do like weekly podcast things or whatever, but I don't even have to be the one doing it. Like there could be multiple hosts, but just for all of these working class people to do like the PVK randos discussion, but just more focused on like
Tradesman,
tradesmen. Yeah.
dude,
So
get a line worker. That's
no, Sandy, I don't have business skills. This is part of the problem.
he's got ninja skills, but no
uh,
business skills.
if people will pay the little bit for like the subscription on Substack, then I can convince my wife like this is a real thing. You need to help me with your, because she's like the great person at like social connections and like talking to people. I have anxiety every time I have to make a real like phone call to somebody. So, you know, like I do this stuff, but it's like it feels like unnatural and I'm pulling teeth to me. So, but I don't know. I feel like that's the way. Like God calls people that really don't want to do it, so that they know it's God telling them to do it and not just their egos.
Oh, well. So as far as you know, support avenue is best through the Substack. Uh, and I'm sure the link to that is in the description of this live stream, right?
I don't know. Can I edit that while I'm doing it? I don't know.
Yes. If you're this is to hold the live stream's attention while you do stuff is why there's so much branding in my show. It's because I can't. I'm like, here, guys, here's this, and I'm like, and go, and
Wait, okay, is this where it is? Okay, let's see. All right, is it there? Can you see it? Did it do it?
You are sharing nothing with the viewers at the moment. I'm not personally looking in the description to see if it's been updated. I can do that, sir. Oh, who's that guy? He should probably wash his face. What? Okay. Yes, tectonicschool.com. It says it's not a clickable link for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. So this is that secretly leads to a Substack.
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
I bought the name, but then I didn't know how to do a good website, and then I found I could just make it go to the Substack, so that was good enough for me for now. Here.
All right. So if you go straight there, here, can I do this? Let's see what powers I have in your place. Did that happen?
I see another thing. What is this?
All right, but this time put it with the ones with us next to it. Not that one. Hey, everybody, I'm over here.
No, wait.
Oh, there's the whole thing without Are cameras on it?
I don't,
There's more. There's more. You might have to scroll or something.
well, I see them like across the top, but then
Ah,
okay,
that's
there we go.
the one.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is the camera and look at things layout of StreamYards. This is
So-
what happens when I go to that link. It's like, no thanks, pal. You want my email already? Oh, look, I can subscribe. No,
which is the same thing.
I'm not. For
It
some
just
reason,
wants
I'm
you
not
to subscribe
automatically
right
logged in.
away. That's
I'm
all.
usually automatically logged into Substack.
Yeah.
This is weird. That's why.
Oh.
So, here, take
I
this.
did put a thing. That's a paid one. So the only thing that's paid is the little devotionals, because eventually, if I keep doing enough of those, that'll be a book, and that's at least something where I can say, here is a book of devotionals that you can use to help your apprentices learn about the Bible while they swing a hammer. So
Well,
everything else is free. So all the good, really interesting ideas is free. And I'll probably just start putting out. I wrote like a really long thing. It's like 45 pages of like, here's the ideas. So maybe I'll just start putting that out in short segments, like daily or weekly or something.
but the important thing is, if people wanted to support your project in any way, shape, or form, this is the most convenient and handy dandy way to do it at this time. Is that correct?
That's correct. I mean, I also signed up for Patreon, but I have not logged in or done anything to it. So
Sir,
I don't know.
sir,
why
let me inform you. When you give money and encourage your people to give money to Patreon, some of that money is spent monitoring your off-platform activities. And that's a gropey overreach. I don't think me and my friends should participate in.
Well, yeah. Okay, then maybe we'll just go all through Substack. Eventually, I
Oh.
want to make stuff to sell too. I mean, that's what I want to do. Like, I don't know.
Have you bought a Lobster Monkey shirt yet?
No, I'd have to sell something to buy something.
I know how that goes. Okay, what's the best article on the site for people? This 6 hours ago, you're doing things all the time over
Yeah,
here, and nobody
yeah.
even knows. Fences and guards for the tools and the trees.
Yes, this one's a paid one, so it's a little.
Oh, well, let's see how far we can get without giving Mike any money.
Oh, you know what? Look for the one. There's one.
No. You got one paragraph of my
all right,
read
all
along.
right.
Here we go. A table saw is just about the most dangerous tool in any wood shop. The main thing that differentiates a useful table saw from a naked spinning blade is the fence. The fence allows you to make cuts straighter and more consistent. It improves both the quality and the efficiency of the saw, but it also introduces a new danger. If a piece of wood gets pinched between the blade and the fence, it can kick back, and the spinning blade will pick up and launch a board back at the operator at about 80 miles an hour. If it happens to a piece you are holding, it can drag your hand across the blade, causing permanent damage. Something I have personal experience, not me, him. You wouldn't notice it if I didn't point it out, but my right index finger has a little bit of the corner rounded off. It's a constant reminder to pay attention. And now pay me for my attention by starting your trial. Oh, wait. Okay, that's it. Now we stop.
Thank you for that reading. Yeah, well, I did have one that that was pretty good, called How to Go to Church, for like a person that's never been to a church before, because you have to go to church if you're going to participate.
And that's an article anybody can read, right?
Anybody can read it. And then Gavin read it, and he seemed to like it, and now he's all about Jesus.
You're the one that did that to Gavin? You're responsible.
I can take a little. I guess I can take a
All right,
little.
let me see how to go to search.
But you know what though? Here's the funny thing, because you know how everybody's all obsessed with like these weird churches in our corner, and I told Gavin, I'm like, look, normal modern churches have websites, and they have like security systems for your kids, and like they use technology and things like that, and he was excited about that. So,
there, that's the big long link that'll get you there. if you allow. Oh yeah, because I'm a moderator over on your YouTube live.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't. Okay.
You gonna drop the link again and see if anybody else wants to chat with you?
Oh, sure.
Meanwhile, let's give us ourselves and everybody a minute or so with this.
What am I supposed to? Oh, okay.
And then put us off so we can go off screen. Does it mute the audio when I do this?
I hope you're feeling virtually not alone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know if anybody's even listening right now. Like these voices in the background makes them feel virtually not alone. You know? Your host, General Griswold Gaius, member of the First Blood Regression Protocol and a member of the Fraternal Regiment embodying narcissistic sociopathy. On behalf of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency, I speak as with the film. We have some all-stars in the hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today. Hive mind today.
That was Grim Grizz branding.
That was by McMo. He made that for me. Like all of your trade skills, the people that gather in the Broken Clock Tower Discord are ones that are developing trade skills for this realm.
I don't know what this is.
Direct response copywriting. Here's you ask our AI friends while I take my best guess, which is like you send me a letter and I send you something back, and that is some poor man's copyright protection in case anyone tries to steal your idea. I think you might have to not open the one I send back to you. I don't know how that works. Okay, Sandy, that's great. Look, an Ace of Hearts from the Blue Church deck, right as you said that. Have you found anything yet, Michael?
I mean, I have a. I'm gonna move this over to Chab so I can see it.
It's writing with the purpose of influencing an immediate response.
I'm not gonna. I don't really want to read a bunch of blogs about this right now, but
no. But the up says it's writing with the purpose of influencing an immediate response. Oh, so it's like someone you can hire someone to do because it's a noticed and realized rhetorical skill set. A certain format of writing probably has a call to action at the bottom, sort of thing. Those kind of techniques, I suspect she now means.
So shouldn't we just do this to tell people about Jesus? Get immediate responses?
Everybody ought to know about him by now, don't you think? 7 of Hearts for the casino
have
card.
Sort of funny ideas.
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
But isn't it? But aren't you the personal relationship kind of church?
Yeah.
So isn't it all right to have our own funny ideas about it?
It's fine with me. I mean, you know, I think it's funny when people talk about like other Jesuses, like they don't worship the same Jesus. Or if you like that TV show with the Jesus, that's not the real Jesus. Like, and like, why do we have to say there's all these different Jesuses instead of just saying you don't understand Jesus the same way I do? Or even you don't understand Jesus correctly. Like that would just be a more.
It's like those levels of thinking from Home Ed, man. People are operating at different spheres of thought, different chakra levels, if you will. But I wanted to call out if people are watching at least old set programming, right before all this apocalypse thing kicked off, Amazon released a televised version of a book called Good Omens. And in that, they have this great Jesus part where I think it's in that. It's either that or in American Gods. But there's like, it's basically a hippie colony of Jesuses for everybody's different notion of what Jesus is like. They have each one represented thanks to the power of the way things work in that world.
You know what? I had a weird thought. So I was listening to Gavin talking to Luke today, I guess.
What was Gavin talking to Luke about?
I don't know. They were just talking about stuff, but you know how Gavin, like, he wants to like save the world through all these like technologies and stuff.
Gavin wants to save the world through technologies and stuff.
Yeah. Do you disagree with that assessment?
I don't think our audience even knows who Gavin is. What are you talking about?
Gavin.
Our good friend Gavin Palmer.
Yes. He's Hero LFG. I don't know if that's the one that he...
Oh, he's right in Christ now after your meddling.
Well,
he's right in Christ now.
I didn't know he was going to be my audience. Well, you know, because I was thinking about how like we have all these dystopian stories, and they try to like project all this stuff like, if they do this, it's gonna be so horrible, and you know, like they're gonna like force us into these little like Netflix boxes or whatever, but tiny ones with the bug food and like.
Are you saying there's fear porn peddlers?
Yeah, but like we're always just like, no, we don't want that to happen. But I mean,
yeah, that's our extent. No, don't do that.
Well, because we're just always there worried about what if it happens to us. But like, you know, maybe it's a good solution for like the people that are trying to kill everybody all the time. You know, like if we just take them instead of killing them back, just take them and put them in a Netflix box with.
Can it be an ARC box? I heard ARC is going to be a grand Netflix competitor. They might even offer me a channel after my recent release of my ARC speech. Did you see it?
Oh, I didn't see that one yet. I'll watch it.
You haven't seen my ARC? I worked so hard on that thumbnail. Watch it just for that, bro.
Okay. Do you want me to?
I live streamed it like a boss. I'm surprised. Actually, I was going to give you crap for not participating. I mean, you're coming on doing a just chatting stream, but
well, you know what? Today I actually had like to talk to my coworkers a lot of the day. So it cut into.
You felt chatty already. Your chat was all lubed up.
No, but it cut into my video viewing /
Oh, your viewing time. That makes sense. That makes sense. But check this out. I guess CW Weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
With the Red Room. He looks like a supervillain. Great guy. I love him. He's supposed to be in the basement with me in Wisconsin. Are you coming? No. Apparently, CW Weeks said to Chad or somebody during one of my live streams.
I probably have to change the link to again.
That he would love it for the TLC people to give a speech at ARC. And so Chad did one and Gavin did one. So I felt I had to do one, and it's phenomenal. And I was wondering why you didn't do one. So you were just completely unaware of the ARC in TLC video challenge for the flotilla. I was.
If
we have any crossover people, somebody ought to tell Federecci and Mark and everybody else that it's part of. Oh yeah, I don't think we need one from Grail Country as well. Like the more of us that play these games together, the more firmament the ovum ring. Here's Gavin though. From our pachyderm experience.
All right.
Jesus drew tables and chairs in the temple, and it always rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but there's a question. He's like, is that what the divine masculine does? Does the divine masculine, start throwing tables and chairs whenever the thing that is sacred is being mistreated. So there's that's the part of the divine masculine I don't know about. I'm open-minded about. But I think the divine masculine is a protector. Will help those around him grow. Like that's so a protector who's trying to make sure that those around them are growing, facilitating an environment that's conducive for the growth of people around them. So it can't be overprotective, right? It has to allow.
So you said that that's Gavin, everybody who didn't know. And you had this claim about him that was far-fetched, I thought. But what was it? Do you recall?
He's always wanting to save the world with technology.
Always wanting to save the world with
convective
technology.
heat engine. Okay, this
The
is a
Liet
link-
Kynes device that will repopulate the arid regions.
This is a link to the Tectonic School Discord channel that they had it for a while where you could just have like a link that would stay until however many people clicked
Yes,
on
and
it.
now you have to agree to their community standards before you can have one of those.
Well, do you have to pay money for it, or do I just have to agree to something? I thought it
I
was
think
like
both. I think you have to
Oh.
agree to something, and I don't know. You might not have to pay money.
Well,
but you
I like
definitely
to
have
agree.
to
I mean, I usually don't mind agreeing to things if I don't have to pay money. Money is the real agreement that I'm much more reluctant to. Oops.
It's amazing, like how easy it is for someone to get like a Monster energy drink or a Starbucks versus somebody to get $4 toward a live stream event. It's just money is a trust replacement, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting what happens with the digital currency and being able to turn it off if you don't toe the line. A Bitcoin citadel, and he claimed it. Yes, just for the attention. Like that, the Chi name reminds me of Chi Guevara or whatever his name is.
Che Guevara. Yeah.
That's what's invoked for me with that with the convective heat engine's current acronym.
Yeah, that's not a great one, you know. But maybe it is because the communists will like it. I mean, like the dumb pretend communists.
It's like the future branding.
The ones with money that they can give to stuff.
To help save the environment.
Yeah.
Flabus says, "What is this? It's the just chatting that you're about to jump into once Mike drops the link again. I think it'll be the first time Flebus has ever been on a just chatting, right, Flebus?
He's popped into some of these things. I don't know.
He has.
He's been there.
There's been Flebus appearances, and nobody has brought me clips. I am hurt and offended.
Flebus and me talk mostly on Twitter.
Twitter talkers. It's interesting how long. I wonder how long, and if he'll ever be manage the X rebrand of Twitter.
Oh yeah, and that's what I meant. X.
Like once they turn off your money for calling it Twitter, probably. Saying Twitter reduces your social credit score by 0.0033 points every time you do. Every time you do.
Yeah. So anyway, Gavin should just invent a thing that we can just take like terrorists and the potentially indoctrinated children of terrorists and like gently put them somewhere where they don't harm people. I mean, I don't know. Is that really such a bad idea? Like, if the alternative is otherwise people just wanting to blow them up.
So about that spiritual warfare, it doesn't involve like putting children and terrorists in places, but the battle on the spiritual plane.
Well, I mean,
I was going to ask: does your church do you eat the flesh and drink the blood of Christ at that
No,
place you worship?
what? No, we just say that we eat symbolic bread and symbolic wine, which is also only symbolic of being wine because it's grape juice. So, but it's just symbolic.
But you do have a grape juice ceremony. How often?
Once a month.
Is it tied to the phase of the moon?
No, I think it's tied to like the second Sunday of the month or something. I don't know. I don't even know if that is our thing anymore. We have a new pastor, and he's just making all sorts of changes. So
Oh,
it's fine.
pastoral changes. Is that part of the ecclesiastical bureaucracy? Is it you have a big main vein church? Well, no,
No.
I've seen it. It's
We have
an
nothing. We
upstart,
are
right?
just
It's a
the building and the
upland.
people that go there. So, which actually made it a little tricky when our old pastor decided to leave, like because we didn't have any greater support structure to reach out to. So, we just had people like of all sorts of backgrounds applying for the job, and it's okay. I mean, it's kind of it's not. I would say it has a similar spirit to the Coroner, but more Christiany overall. But
I
not so
did.
much.
I caught part of. I don't know if it was. I think it was after your
I gotta
talk.
take a phone call.
Oh, well, I'll play some more of the elephant discussion. Present that one.
Can't be left out of it. That's what I picked up on after feeling on the elephant's ear.
So wait a minute. You grew up in the elephant's ear, and you hear from the ear of the elephant that like part of divine masculinity is fucking up.
Yes.
Why can't that just be part of masculinity that's not included in the divine?
Well,
I mean, to the extent I can grant it to you, it would be if it qualifies as included in divine masculinity. It's like the capacity to move beyond the fear of fucking up.
Well,
and then as a result,
I can't.
I think I kind of understand. I think I understand, or I see a way where you're going with this.
Do you? Do you remember where I was going with that? You're muted still from your phone call, my man.
Yes, it was hard for me to listen to the clip while I was talking on the phone, so my attention was divided. But
no, but do you remember when we groped the elephant together? What did you think about that experience?
It was fun,
Would you try groping your elephant with your church group? Do you have a men's group or a Bible study?
Yeah, we do. I normally introduce these little bits of perspectives we get from the coroner, but in like safe doses or whatever.
No, but this one is good, right? You're like, all right, hey there, men's group. I do some stuff on the internet, and the guys want to know what our men folk think of this concept of divine masculinity. And I thought maybe we could hammer out like 3 or 4 sentences together as a group and tell them that's what we think.
I'm sure we could do something. I don't know how I say the concept of divine masculinity. Like, I don't know, but I could probably get there. It's what's weird is if you have a group in real life, it's all like this little corner. It's just everybody has different algorithms. So,
But that's where we're at, I think.
Yeah.
It's like
everybody's got their algorithms.
We're all both in cell and in flesh. And like I'm sure that everybody else in that group has an interesting relationship with cell of their very own, a personal relationship.
What the heck is a jazz sermon?
Why is it
Sounds
a
good.
competition, Jasmine? Jazz sermons, so.
Well, you know what? Anytime you get a new pastor, that's just what people. Some amount of people will just be happy that they'll just be disappointed that he's not the old pastor. So,
All right, the first thing you do when you get a new pastor is throw the local floozy at him and check his integrity. I mean, it's a test. They know it's going to be a testing process, so just have the community test them right away, just to see if they're of the stuff. Your job is to try and break him right away, so that he doesn't break when you really need him. But it's easier to stay in my house behind the screen.
yeah.
Well, I had fun chatting with you, Mike. Nobody else is going to do it with me here. I'm terrifying.
I need to go walk the dog. So.
Yeah, I saw your face during some of that phone call because you're still not great at the putting the screen up thing. What?
That's all right. I was just trying to figure out if I had how much time I could still do this while walking the dog before my wife gets back home.
Oh, wait. Ups has some TLC trivia. Recently, The Meaning Code, a podcast that explores the meaning of life, science, and other philosophical topics, featured Michael Sartori, who is the founder of the Tectonic Skew. Apparently, that's what the AI is responding about you, sir, when people start doing their background checks.
Is that trivia? Is it just trivia if it's just a fact? I feel like if it's trivia, you're just supposed to be answering a question. I don't know.
Wow. What a way to reward engagement with your hive mind. Thanks for engaging,
right.
hive mind.
Is that
even trivia, you son of
trivia?
All right, sir, I'm going to get off of this now, but you are assigned officially the ARC in TLC speech by Tuesday. Tuesday's tomorrow. By Wednesday, we need your speech.
I'll go listen to. Well, I don't know if I can make one. I'll go.
No, it's just get on stage and pretend you're in front of the audience that Pajot was, that Konstantin Kisin was. What would you say to that crowd?
How is that thing different than just TED Talks? Wasn't that just TED Talks?
See, you could do that as your ARC and TLC speech. You could go up there. Guys, is this just a fancy TED Talk? How is what we're doing any different? But, LARP that you're there and in it. It's a new game. You don't have to play.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Check mine out. It's fabulous. Bye, everybody.
All right. Well, that's time for me to go walk the dog. So thank you all for being here with me. I will talk to you at a totally random time that's completely unpredictable whenever I, again, am alone at home and have free time. So have a wonderful evening.